I decided to take out my 2007 MV Agusta F4 Senna edition out for a ride today. I haven't ridden this bike in a couple of weeks, so that's why I wanted to take it out for a quick ride today. It was good weather, so pretty much gave us a reason to go out and ride. One of my favorite bikes to ride. Sounds absolutely amazing. If you can hear the exhaust, it's a completely different bike compared to like most of Ducatis, because obviously being inline 1000cc, this particular bike being a 2007, I think it's about 175, 180 horsepower or so. I believe this one has the performance ECU. It does have the RG3 race exhaust, so it's probably a little bit more power, but it sounds absolutely amazing. One of my favorite bikes. Once you get up in the higher RPMs, it sounds like a old Formula 1 car. Best way to describe it. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound, but the microphone picks it up. Once we get through this traffic, we'll open it up a little bit more so that you guys can hear it. Incredible. I mean, it is stupid fast. Very, very fast bike. I mean, surprising, because it's, you know, it's a 16, 17-year-old bike, but honestly, straight line speed, it's pretty much going to keep up with most of the current day 1000 bikes. Obviously, I'm not talking about the super bikes, you know, the special editions, crazy 220 horsepower bikes, but anything else, your GSXR 1000s, Suzuki's, you know, Yamaha R1s, basic ones, Kawasaki's and stuff like that, these bikes can definitely keep up with that. Downforce, it's a little bit on the heavy side, obviously. Like I said, it's not the most current technology, but it's still absolutely one of the most fun bikes that I've owned. Give you a funny story. I actually had one of these bikes back in the day and sold it, immediately regretted it. Luckily, I was able to find another one to replace it, so that worked out for me. Otherwise, it was going to be, as soon as I sold it, it was a big regret. Cool thing about this bike is, in my opinion at least, and not just in my opinion, but many people's opinions, this is one of the best looking bikes ever designed. Some people could argue that it's the Ducati 916. Fun fact, both bikes, the Ducati 916 and MV Agusta, were actually designed by Massimo Tamburini, so same designer. Used to work for Ducati, and then MV Agusta and a bunch of other bikes, Bimota, Kachiva. He's probably one of the most famous bike designers. And honestly, compared to like modern day bikes, this thing just blows them out of the water. Even though it's a 20-year-old design, if you put it to any modern day bike, it's a way better looking bike in my opinion. You know, it's got the single-sided swing arm, it's got the undertail exhaust, and it's, like I said, it makes it one of my favorite bikes, and that's probably the reason why I have 4 different F4s currently in my collection. Very smooth bike. I mean, it shifts very well. Obviously, you don't have any of the electronics like current bikes, ABS, traction controls, wheelie controls, anything like that. So essentially, it's all up to the rider. But nonetheless, it offers an amazing feeling. And that's why I like to go ahead and ride it every time I get a chance. There is that sound, if you guys can hear it, from the RG3 race exhaust. Only 300 of these bikes were ever made for the entire world. It was produced only in 2007. I'll pull over, guys, to do a little walk around so you guys can see the paint design and some of the other cool details. Shortly, try to find a cool spot to pull over, do a little walk around video. Get to 100 miles in absolutely no time. Let's see if we can. Here's a. I think it's on the next street. There's a cool spot to pull over. To the spots right here. Let's see where this goes. Actually haven't been here, but oh, maybe it didn't. Nothing wrong with that. All right. There we go. Alright guys, here it is, the 2007 MV Agusta F4 Senna. This is the 1000 edition. Wanted to do a little walk around video. One of my favorite bikes, like I said, super cool design from MV Agusta. You got the single-sided swing arm, one of the best looking exhausts I think ever made. You got the quad under the tail exhaust, looks absolutely amazing. This particular one is the RG3, which is the race exhaust. Not only does it look cool, it sounds absolutely amazing. Very cool bike. Check it out on the front. I love the, the headlight color combination. You got the red seat, single seat. And this particular bike was designed in tribute to Ayrton Senna. I don't recall if it was the actual designer Massimo Tamburini or the owners of what it was at the time, Ducati MV Agusta, that had a relationship with Ayrton Senna, that designed a couple of different bikes for him, 3 different Ducati 916s and 2 different MV Agusta bikes. There was a 2002, which was the 750cc version, slightly different color scheme, and then the 1000 obviously. But very cool design. I think the portion of the proceeds went to the Senna fund that helped kids in Brazil. But essentially, this is it. Only 300 of them were ever made for the world. This particular one is number 220. I do ride it quite a bit. Currently has about 10,200 miles or so. It's probably actually the highest mile bike that I have, and for a good reason. The previous owner actually rode it quite a bit as well. I believe when I got it, the bike was about 8,000 miles or so. So I've put in a little bit over 2,000 miles in the last maybe year and a half, 2 or so. Very fun bike. So let's get back on it and we'll head back home. What an amazing bike. So let's suit up, we'll head back home, enjoy a little more. such a perfect day to go out riding. Southern California never gets old. Exhaust is loud, but it is not obnoxious to the point where, you know, it gets annoying or it gets in your to the point where, you know, where you can't hear anything. What's this guy doing? Come on, buddy, make a decision. Like I said, it's a very different feeling from, you know, the Ducatis, because it's an inline engine. It revs higher, or you have to rev it higher to get into like the power band. This bikes initially, or some of these F4s, don't really like to be ridden in the lower RPMs. Sometimes they're a little bit jerky. I think this one, because it has like the upgraded DCU, kind of solves that problem. And I mean, it's pretty much was designed to be a race bike, therefore it was meant to be ridden fast, you know. And it looks fast even sitting still. I'm always on the lookout for first generations MV Agusta F4s, one of my favorite bikes ever, so always keep it on mind to see what's on the market. This particular bike, it's actually appreciated in value since I bought it. There's currently, I believe, one on the market asking for close to 45 or 48,000 in Florida with 0 miles. Obviously a collector, versus mine is more, I would say, a rider, being that it's got 10,000 miles. But being that I enjoy riding it, I wouldn't have it any other way. It would be difficult to have one and not be able to ride it. Feel the weight that much once you get it going, and obviously it has to do with how the suspension is set up. Pretty easy bike to ride. I made the mistake one time. A lot of times I like to ride my bikes back to back. I made the mistake one time to ride my latest and greatest, which is the Ducati V4 SP2 first, and then jump onto the MV, and it was a weird feeling at first, because the bike felt so heavy at first and just very difficult to handle. But 10 minutes later, you know, I was able to feel more comfortable on it, and essentially gave me that feeling of confidence again to ride it. I really should ride this bike more often. It's so much fun. about this bike is that it doesn't actually get hot like some of the Ducatis. You know, right now at 187 degrees, absolutely no heat on my legs or anything like that. It's very comfortable versus my SP2, for example. Sometimes in stop and go, the bikes get a little bit hot to the point where it's uncomfortable on your inner thighs. With this bike, no such an issue. But then again, it's not really a very hot day today. Yes, the sun is out, but we're probably talking about, I don't know, it's probably 75, 80 right now outside, and we're obviously moving. So the bike does get a lot of air going through it. Get on the throttle. And that's how quickly you're doing 120. You know, 4-gear pull from 6,000 RPM, and there's absolutely, I would say, not really a flat spot. Such a smooth power curve. It's very responsive on the throttle. Brakes are good. I don't know if you guys can hear the little pops on the downshifts. It's pretty cool as well. And it's a comfortable bike. I've ridden this bike from here. I live in Southern California in Orange County, all the way to the Rockstar in Malibu and back, and it was very comfortable bike. I'm about 6'2", height, you know, had no issues, no back pain, or it wasn't anything uncomfortable. So I consider it to be for a sports bike, obviously, a pretty comfortable bike. No pain in your wrist because yes, it is a sports bike, but you're not really leaning over that much where all the weight is on your wrist, which a lot of times with sport bikes, it's the big complaint that, you know, when you go on long rides, they get uncomfortable. Not the case with this one. What do we got here? Little BMW M3. Very similar colors, gray, silver. Let's go. Come on, turn green. I hate stop and go traffic. There we go. Timed this one perfect. bikes you guys want to do reviews. I did a review recently on my other MV Agusta, which was the latest one that I got, the F4 Tamburini. That was a 2005, also 1000. Essentially, it's a similar engine, very similar engine, with a couple of minor differences. But it's interesting how the two bikes ride or feel slightly different. That particular bike has a few different systems. I don't even know how to explain it. Something with the injectors, where it actually changes the performance, changes the sound, versus this one. They do, like I said, even though they have the same power, this one actually feels a little bit faster because, like I said, it has the race ECU and obviously the race exhaust. But let me know, maybe we'll do a comparison on both of them riding on back to back. I also have the Ago, which is also 2005, also a 1000, so that should probably feel more similar to the Tamburini. And I also have the 750cc version, which is the Oro. I've written that one. That one's definitely feels different for sure because obviously less power, but and that particular bike you really have to ride it in the high RPMs to get it in the power band. That one feels a little bit lighter, being that it's a 750. Very, very fun bike. I only ridden that one only once because it's a very collectible bike. It's very low miles. I think I only have like 20 miles on it. But maybe we'll pull it out of the garage again and do a back-to-back ride to compare all four of them. Comment below and let me know. Or we can even compare them to some of the Ducatis as well. We got the police. Which way are you going? Going the other way. Perfect. Don't have to deal with them. Downshift. Lean and back on the gas. Almost back home. That was definitely a very fun ride. A little bit short. We gotta go run some errands, so didn't have too much time to go riding today, but we'll find another day to ride some more. Looks like everybody's coming back from work. A little bit of traffic.
Best motorcycle in the whole world.
Do you have one, or do you ride?
I used to have one.
Yeah, same one?
Not a Sienna. I had a shit. What year is it? I had a 2007. Yeah, F4.
F4, yeah.
But I don't know what I think the Senna is like it has the carbon fiber.
This one's a 2007 as well. Yeah, they made the Senna version and they made like the regular version, which likes the red and silver and stuff like that.
That's
so yeah, they're super fun. Yeah,
super sick bike.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You heard it from another bike enthusiast that used to have a MV Agusta back in the day. How special these bikes are. I'm sure he regrets selling his. Trash day. Don't mind all the trash cans here. Wait.